All right. Welcome to a little special lunch edition
Yes,
of
it
Tigs
is.
Bits. I mean,
Yes, it
Blasi, I would
is.
say this is on the border of damn near an emergency podcast, kind
It
of, if
really
you
is.
wanted to call it that.
It
But
really is. Yeah, 1,000% it is. I mean, this morning I was watching. I had work to do this morning. I'm watching Bubba the Love Sponge. I'm watching the show. Yeah, it was a great show. It's always a great show. But this morning it was like extra
Unbelievable
special.
show.
We had Gene Lasker on there. And dude, those
Yeah.
stories were so compelling. And just listening to that, and then everything that's going on with this Stormy Daniels deal with Trump's hush money trial, and then listening to this build, it was like I had a light bulb kind of go off, and that's all. I was like, I told you, I sent you a text, like I felt very compelled to get on here live. We had no plan to do this
No,
whatsoever.
none at all. None at all.
Zero.
We be honest
And
with you folks, we've been recording the hell out of some shows for our TV show coming up, and
Yes, we have.
we recorded one last night. We fire up the studio. I'm on a walk. I'm just out walking, taking a little exercise, getting ready to kind of come in. What are we going to do with the content for the day? Listen to Bubba. And Blasi's like, I've got a strong opinion on why Bubba needs to be involved in this case, testify and all of this. So I'm like, all right. I mean, we could talk about this tomorrow night when we go live for our actual Tigs Bits podcast. We'll talk about it then. He's like, hell no, man. We need to talk about this now. We need to talk about it now. So I was like, okay, how about lunch? Shit, let's go go live at lunch. So
yes, let's do it. I was available. I made it work. I put
That's right. So hey,
put my crazy board to work. I got in there and wiped everything down, started all over, brainstormed the whole thing out. And dude, here we are, and I'm ready to lay this thing out here in just a minute. I can't wait. But yeah, I understand Bubba's apprehension. I mean, are you kidding me? Like there is a trial going on, a criminal trial going on right now with our former president of the United States, Donald Trump. And suddenly yesterday, Bubba gets connected to this thing through Stormy Daniels. And here we are like, oh, whoa, hold on just a minute. You know what I mean? Like, so I get his apprehension. Are you kidding me? Like suddenly where I could be potentially called as a witness to a criminal trial against a former president.
Yeah.
Like whether it be for the prosecution or the defense. And so that's why we're here today, to talk about how I think the defense can bring him in and everybody win. Everybody win.
And look, I mean, I don't know what in the hell he's going to tell us or what his thoughts and ideas are. I love that. That's what's going to make this fun. I mean, we did a podcast to be coming out this Friday, Bubba Army. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. We got into everything. We figured out, or at least started the conversation of who we think are heels in the Bubba world, who we think are baby faces. Kind of fun. We talk a little bit about this at 100,000 foot level for JR the handler, because he knows none of this. So we kind of Blasi explained that in the way that only Blasi can explain Bubba. And broke it down. So that shows, it's fantastic. That's coming out Friday. But we need to be we've got to address this now. We've got people in the room. Appreciate you. Everybody coming in. Alan Blummel's defense lawyer. I see you in the chat on the Bubba stuff all the time.
Always
I
there,
love it.
Always there.
I mean, Paul's already jumping in. He's got us. Yeah, Paul's in here. He's got us a comment already. It may not shock you that I think this, but I think this whole trial is absurd, and that's all he's going to say about it. Just before we went live, I looked at Blasi and I said, one thing we've said we're never going to talk about on all of this stuff. We're not going to talk about politics. We're not talking about politics today. This is a sex scandal. That's what the hell we're talking about. So
it's a sham, dude. Let's just be real. I don't care if Donald Trump was like, Clinton in this situation, or was Barack Obama, or if he was George Bush. This trial is a sham, and it's built on a foundation of extortion and lies. Not of Donald Trump, which everybody tries to label him as. Like, this has nothing to do with him. And it's garbage. Like, I don't care who the president is. When something's built on a foundation of extortion and lies, Like, dude,
it's pretty. It's
we're gonna
built
get
on a
back to it.
rough
And it's
foundation.
crazy, yeah. And it's crazy how much of this all like there's so many things in this storyline we're going to get to in this timeline that all come back to one central theme. And guess who's involved in like this crazy like this isn't fake. I'm not making anything up. Bubba the Love Sponge, man. I
Right
mean,
in the
you
center.
right in the
I mean, he
center of
really
this. He
is.
is right in the middle of this thing. Hey,
It,
before we keep going though, I do want to show you something. Like in the spirit of what we're talking about, I was given this gift, and I think I put it on X a while back, but I had to wear them today just for this. Look at this. Hold on. Let's see if you can see these. Oh, if I can get them up here. Can you see those? Oh, not quite.
you got those Trump socks, baby.
Yeah, look at that hair. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh
Gosh.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So good.
Oh man. Hey, Blummel says it's just election interference and political persecution at its finest.
It really is.
I mean, it really, it really is. It really is. It's a smear campaign. Mr. Michael Bowman in the house says that.
Oh, look at there. Look at
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Mikey
Dude,
Mike. Yeah.
but it totally is, and it's so much, but it's so much all across America right now. On my walk, somebody hadn't picked up their newspaper yet. It was just in cellophane. It was still in the deal. I'm walking. I kind of just glanced down at it, and the only thing I could read, the only thing was like Trump, Stormy Daniels trial, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God, it won't go away. It's just everywhere. It's just
It is
everywhere. So
everywhere.
shit, we might as well talk about it because Bubba has been placed dead center. So
Yes, he
Blasi,
has.
give us this timeline that you have. I know that
Yeah,
you
so
got
you know,
this.
all right. So let's just here we are. Why are we here? Why are we here right now? Because I noticed yesterday Stormy Daniels testified, and in that testimony, she talked about she didn't mention his name specifically, but they asked her when's the first time she talked about this publicly prior to 2016 when the allegation was made against Donald Trump, and she said it was in a radio station in Tampa, and with a on a show. Well, we all know that's Bubba the Love Sponge when she was on the show in 2007.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why we're here right now. I saw that she's set to testify again tomorrow. Now, first of all, this is her word, right? This is a porn star. She's on a station with at the time Bubba the Love Sponge, one of the biggest shock jocks in the country.
The
And
goat.
yeah, absolutely. And so for her to say that, like, it's not surprising if she said that she, had slept with Donald Trump. Like, what's she going to say? She slept with a guy that owns 4 gas stations down in up in Ocala.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she's going to say something a little more profound. So whether she said this or not, because I don't think it was ever said, allegedly written down, allegedly she said it, she didn't say it. It doesn't even matter. It's like, first of all, it's a porn star saying something. So that's why we're here. But it put Bubba the Love Sponge back in the center here, and here he is. There's the first connection. We go back to 2007 when she was on the show, and she claimed that somehow allegedly in writing. She wrote it on a piece of paper and showed it to him that Donald Trump was one of the people that she had slept with. Okay, so as we start to look at this, I'm going to back up one moment here before I get too far down this timeline. I know Bubba's a little nervous about being called, right? I don't blame him, like I said earlier. But I think there's a way where Bubba can win. I think Donald Trump's defense team, if they called Bubba, they could win. It's a true win-win, right?
Yeah.
So let me continue with this timeline. So we move past 2007. So there's the first connection, right to Bubba, right? Stormy
This
Daniels
shit
on
goes
there.
back. I don't mean to interrupt you, but this is
No.
deeper than the Kendrick Drake deal that's going on right now.
Way
This
deeper,
shit goes
man.
back to 2007.
Way
That one
deeper,
only
man.
goes back to 2009. I've been going down a
You're
rabbit
right.
hole, but anyhow, yeah, continue.
You're right.
It'll come
Yeah,
out.
this is way before that. So, all right. So now let's fast forward to 2012, right? So this is when the whole Hulk Hogan sex tape scandal broke, right? There was Hulk Hogan. We all know this story. Hulk Hogan, was having sex with Bubba's wife, and it was on video, and then it ends up coming out. Gawker publishes it, and suddenly Bubba looks like the horrible guy and the whole deal. You know, he gets fired. He loses his job as the morning guy. The afternoon guy takes over, right? So we all know this story. There's a whole nother breakdown of that if you don't. But once again, let's go back at what happened in 2012. So in 2012, Keith Davidson and Matt Lloyd were trying to extort. This is the key word because extortion is the key thing that continues to happen here. Hulk Hogan. And they get a hold of this tape that came from Bubba's security system in his house. They steal this tape, and now they're trying to peddle it, and they're trying to extort Hulk Hogan for like, I think, 200 grand, right? Well, upon this deal, the FBI, Hulk and them, they let them know. The FBI comes in. There's a full sting operation. They're in there trying to extort this thing. They bust in. They handcuff them. They arrest them. And guess what never happens?
What?
They were never charged. Nobody was ever charged.
That's what happened.
This is prior to the sex tape being released. They had them. They had them dead to rights, like Bubba says. That they had them. This would have Hulk Hogan would have never been like had to go through what he went through. Bubba would have gone through what he went through if they would just taken them down right then. Like take them down, man. You had them. So why did they let Keith Davidson go? Why did they not say another word about it? Why did he testify the other day that he was not a target of the investigation when he was targeted and thrown to the ground and handcuffed? You know, like, yes, you were, brother. You were trying to peddle this garbage. You know, so there's the 2012. Now, what later happened? So they didn't do anything to him. He walks away. That never happens. I mean, cocaine dealer gets busted selling cocaine, and then you see him on the street the next day. What is he?
He's still a cocaine dealer.
And he's probably an informant if he's not arrested, right?
Oh, yeah, that's very true. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, they let him loose. That's right.
Right?
That's right.
But there's somehow you're owned by somebody at that point because they never charged you, you moved on. So he's out there free as a bird, right? So y'all just bear with me on this because this continues. And I know Bubba's laid a lot of this out, but I've got a full connection here how this can be a great strategy for everybody. So later, Tony Burton, after this sting operation, and Mike Coulter try to peddle this thing to Gawker. Like, man, it's not enough. Y'all almost got busted by the FBI, but y'all felt comfortable enough to, well, let's just keep wiggling down the street here. Let's see if we can get this over to Gawker. Well, they get it over to Gawker. And
a reputable media outlet, by the way.
Great media outlet, yeah. So they get this thing out there, man. And that's how the Hulk Hogan sex tape scandal came to be because, honestly, the FBI failed to do their job at that time. If they'd have done what they were supposed to do that time and take the people down that were trying to peddle it, this would have never happened. So that
right.
Exactly, yeah. So once again, who do we have with Keith Davidson, who's Stormy Daniels' attorney at the time? Who's at center because whose tape was that got stolen? Bubba the Love Sponge.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's Bubba the Love Sponge. So
there's one dot. There's two dots now. Honestly.
There are two dots.
Two dots.
Mm-hmm. So now let's move on to 2016 election, right? So going into that 2016 election, this guy named Donald Trump, you know, everybody knows Donald, right? They didn't take him seriously. And then suddenly he just blew everybody away, right? It was just storming the competition on the GOP side. And guess what bubbles back up again? You know,
here comes
the conversation stated back, with the deal stated back from Stormy Daniels back to guess who's her attorney, Keith Davidson, coming in, you know, like they're going for an extortion deal. Once again, we got extortion, right? They're trying to extort Donald Trump in some fashion based on something she said on a show. That's the only evidence of this. Something she said on the show and some correspondence, which whatever, man. Who even cares? At the end of the day, this is extortion over and over again. So now we got Stormy Daniels. Once again, we've got Keith Davidson. Once again, back to that. There's that whole thing built on extortion. Back from the 2007 story. Back to Bubba. There's Bubba connected again. Back to Bubba.
The common denominator in this entire conversation.
Yes. And he's still, again, all throughout this, let's go 2012, 2000, he's still the bad guy. Everybody still thinks he's the one who took that tape, tried to peddle it, tried to go out and broker that thing out, tried to go out and sell it to Gawker. And you know what I mean? They still thought this was the guy. You know what I mean? He's still going, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It
Right.
just came from my house. So here we are now. It's 2024. Well, now we've got this criminal hush money trial going on, all built on the foundation of extortion, man. You know what I mean? It's like, I can't believe this is even really happening. It is unbelievable. This is a real, actual trial that's going down with a guy, Keith Davidson. Let's you know, they've done an okay job, in my opinion, of like telling who he is and how we even got here.
Yeah.
Like, you know, just kind of backing up, who is he? He's the guy involved in that Lindsay Lohan deal. He brokered some stuff there. Charlie Sheen, you know, Hulk Hogan. Dude, he is not a good guy. He is a professional extortionist. Like, that's what he does.
He gets paid.
He gets paid to extort people.
That's
what he does, man.
Yeah.
He's
It's
I
all
mean, it's
about
like
the money.
there's zero credibility with this cat whatsoever, you know? So, dude, it's kind of mind blowing to me of like, I don't even understand how this thing's still going. I don't know how it's been thrown out already. Like,
it
it's
won't
like,
go away. Like, shit, this thing, I thought it would have been done years ago. It's just, nothing goes away with Trump. That's the thing. It's like it just doesn't go away.
It never does. It never does, man. And
people just keep coming after him. I'm not taking a side one way or the other, but one thing is a fact that it just never ends. They're going to keep coming no matter what happens. They're just going to keep coming after him.
It's that's a whole nother opinion, but like I've never seen anything like this in the history of this country. Have I seen somebody go after a political opponent and the way they're going after this guy? Like, and I don't care. And I'm more of a, like, I've always been more of a, you know, centrist, you know what I mean? On certain things I'm a little bit more liberal on, but more things, you know, probably more conservative. Today I'm probably considered some right winger, you know what I mean, by these new standards that we've come up with, which are crazy to me. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But back to this deal. So, all right, so here we are, right? Here we are. This is all going down. Now she's testified yesterday on this radio show. On this, during this trial about being on Bubba's show in 2007. And then now, you know, Bubba today woke up going, oh, am I going to be possibly called by someone?
Yeah.
And I don't blame him. I'd be like nervous as hell. Like, you know, is it defense? Is it afraid? I don't want to be put in a weird situation, you know, like I don't want to, I've got it all figured out. All right. So here's the action I think needs to happen. Trump's defense team, they need to call Bubba up there. And Bubba's probably going, dude, are you serious? Are you saying this right now? Like, hold on, just bear with me. Bear with me. Bubba has the right? If he wants to go back to that 2007 thing where nothing was really said, memories fade. Like, I don't know what I saw, didn't see, or whatever. Dude, he could plead the fifth here, right?
Yeah.
He could plead the fifth on that point. But as the defense team, they need to back up a little bit. And they need to dig a little bit further, and they need to start highlighting and going into that whole extortion attempt back to 2012. Let's really, really look at this Keith Davidson situation, and let's really expose this guy for what he is and what he's done, and all the connections back to Bubba the Love Sponge. It's like I almost feel like Bubba was a target from day one, and they used him as a pawn in this whole it's like this is something they set up, and they held on to Keith Davidson from 2012. I don't know who they is.
Yeah,
but
whoever
the FBI was the one that operated the sting. But like they used him as a pawn, and it's like Bubba, like because Bubba's just a shock jock. Like it doesn't matter what he thinks or says, but like so Bubba go in there and plead the fifth, highlight this whole extortion attempt, really lay that onion open. You know what I mean? Dive into this thing, talk about how, you know, what happened post that that whole sting operation, how finally that tape was actually distributed, like the repercussions of somebody not taking action at the point, and why did they not take action? Why? And just pose the question and let the jurors, let everybody think about that themselves. Why did they not take action against Keith Davidson back then, and how do we even get here today?
Right. Yeah.
That's me. So you create this narrative, and you build it on doubt, and you really, really, really highlight the extortion that took place here, you know? And for me, I think you got this, it's a giant win for the defense team. Bubba gets to vindicate himself without implicating anyone against this whole, what happened to him through Mike Calta, how he took his job and how they went after him and they stole that and they peddled it to Gawker, and how he lost his best friend over this, and how he even believed this garbage, and really share his story on a national stage, and then still not be there to say, hey, I can plead the fifth on if you're asking me whether she told me that or not. And even let's just say she did. Like back to that point, it is a porn star. Like, of course, just because she said something doesn't make it true. And just,
right.
you know what I mean? Just because he
Yeah.
read it doesn't make it what it is. It's like, that's what you should do as you're a porn star. You got to promote yourself.
Blumels also makes a great point. By the time the feds ask the question, they already know the damn answer.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
Yeah. You're in a bad situation when they've already. We know the answer.
We do know the answer. So that's why I wanted to come. That's my multiple defense team strategy. That's what's in it, like as I call a whiff'em. What's in it for me? What's in it for the defense team? What's in it for Bubba the Love Sponge? Dude, I think it's a big win-win. And it's like let's just tell the truth here. Everything I'm talking about is the truth. These are things that actually happen. This isn't conspiracy. This is fact. As people out there, whether it be the jurors or just people, the American public, draw your own conclusions. But man, come on, dude, this is extortion at its finest, and they're using it to actually build a case against a former president of the United States. Dude, this is what is going on here. This is our country's lost its mind, dude. Like let's be real.
It totally
this is
has.
actually allowed to happen. I don't care who it is. I don't care which side of the party. If this is actually going down, this is garbage. So there it is. That's why I felt compelled today, Tigs, to get on here.
Blasi, I've got a surprise for you. I told you before we started this. Yeah, we're 22 minutes into this. We have the largest crowd that we've ever had watching any of our shows right now. Bubba retweeted our live stream. So hello, Bubba Army. Welcome aboard.
Yes,
I've got something I want to do. We've never tried this. This could be a complete shit show. This whole thing may just crash right here on us. But if you follow us on socials, I only have X open right now. Shoot me a DM at Tigs Bits Podcast. If you would like to come on the show right now and talk about this, I will send you the link to this StreamYard, and you can come on and let's chat. Come visit with us. Let's just have us a little fun. Yeah,
full of surprises.
Look, we're going to go live. We're going to do that. We're going to stress test, too, while we're in there doing this. So
here we
why
go.
Not?
Of course, yeah. You're always full of surprises there, Brantley. I mean,
somebody may not take us up on that. That's
I guess I
totally
surprised
okay.
you.
We don't have a phone. We don't have a way for you to call in. But if you'd like to jump in via video, you don't even have to have your video on. If you just want to jump in via video, and then we can hear you. Jump in. I'll send you that StreamYard link, and you can come in and be a little part of this because we're going to shoot the bull for a few more minutes while we got all of y'all in here.
So you're surprising me like I surprised you this morning. What was that, about 9:45 when I sent you that? I was like, I think we need to do an emergency pod.
Yeah, we need to do an emergency pod.
I was trying to work and watching this, and I kept thinking, and my brain was just like, and again, this is stuff Bubba's laid out. I'm not laying any, but I'm just trying to put him to ease to go like, dude, no, like this can be done. Like everybody wins here. Like, So yeah, I felt, I was like, no, we need to do this now. You're like, we can talk about it tomorrow night on our live. No, we need to talk about this today. Tomorrow, Stormy hits the stand again. Like,
Very true.
This needs to be public information and really, really, really understood by people, not just coming from Bubba, because everybody listens to, not everybody, but people who are fans of Bubba, they all listen to Bubba. They believe it. People who aren't, they think he's the bad guy. Nobody listens to him when he's screaming from the top of the mountain. This is fact, man. This is fact.
These are facts. They're interesting facts, but they're facts. They're facts. Everybody in the chat's hoping that they'll just leave Bubba alone as well. Brummels wants to know, when does our main show come on? Tomorrow night we'll be doing live.
Yeah.
Then our show that'll be on the Bubba Army Network will be coming out on Friday.
Yeah, podcast
for this period of time in our show. Our TV show starts in June. So we've been capturing interviews. We've been rocking and rolling, recording just about every single day. So we'll be dropping some of those on our main shows. So we're kind of right now, that's a great question because we're in flux of everything kind of working out, finding our rhythm, I guess you would say. So that will start. We're trying to go live on Wednesday or Thursday nights, drop the Bubba show, drop our show, do spontaneous things like this and all that throughout the month of May. And then I think in June we'll have more of a cycle, I guess, if you will. Does that make sense? But anyhow, it's a great question. Appreciate you answering. Shannon's Butcher Block. I will always give him a shout out. Thanks for
Oh yeah,
jumping
man.
in, saying hello. If anybody is in Manny, Louisiana, or
Ready to get ready to try that turkey
if
breast
you're
he's
within
got up there.
300 miles of Manny, Louisiana, it's worth the trip. It's worth the trip. We got another shout out last night in the podcast coming out soon there, Shannon. We talked to J.D. Marsh, big barbecue enthusiast and all, with Breggy Baum, Alex Bregman with the Houston Astros and all that good stuff. So we had a good conversation. There's some changes coming with all of that. Just a little tease for you guys that are in here in the live, because frankly, we don't have an agenda today. Our agenda was Blasi to jump in that and talk a little bit more. That's just I think it's an endless topic.
It is, and I'm trying to look at. I've got my board here in my notes. I think I summed it all up. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. Like there's but I think that's really it in a nutshell, man. That's really it in a nutshell. Like it's just dude, this is like all built on a complete extortion and a shakedown. And I can't believe they're allowed this case to continue. And I just think the defense team could do a better job of really just tearing this thing apart.
Yeah.
If we get Bubba on the stand.
I mean, personally, for our show, for everybody in the Bubba Army, I go along listening to Alex Stein this morning.
Yep.
I want him to take the stand. I mean, it'll just help all of our shows. Everybody, the whole Bubba network, everybody that's involved in it.
I can see him
just
walking
be a
in
lot
with
of
one of
fun.
his pimp suits on. You know what I mean? He's got a collection of pimp suits. I'd love to see that walking into the courthouse. There's Bubba the Love Sponge walking in just pimped out. Well, I'll fly up there and cover it. We'll be sitting outside the courthouse. Tigs bits.
Oh, I promise you, if that happens, this show hits the road. We're gonna be like headline news over there in the corner. We're gonna be the Nancy Graces of the Bubba Army, I guess.
Oh, absolutely, we are.
Oh my God,
it's going to be great. It's like, but it should happen, dude. Oh man, Bubba can. I mean, he can be vindicated. This is a big time, but the defense team can end this thing. I think they could just slam dunk it, man. Like put so much doubt in those jurors' minds. Like this is garbage. It's beyond garbage. And let's look at this one character. They have hitched their saddle, the prosecutors, to all these connections to Bubba the Love Sponge, and never think that's going to float. Like, you know what I mean? Like this is what you're building this case on.
it's a mound of lies that's been covered up.
Stupid.
Kick the ant pile again. Here they all go. Suppressed again. Kick the day. It's like a big ant pile that you just, you can't kill the queen. The queen is Stormy Daniels. I don't want to use those words. I don't want to get anybody to get that twisted, but you know what I mean? It's like,
oh yeah,
it just keeps on coming. So I think the bottom line is someone in this line has not been paid. Somebody hadn't been paid.
Somebody hadn't been paid, and somebody owes somebody big, and that's why we're here. Let's go back to Keith Davidson again, 2012. Somebody, like, it's kind of scary to say this, but Bubba's right. I'm just backing up what Bubba's saying here, but dude, I mean, it just all roads lead to like that guy somehow became somebody's bitch. You know what I mean? Let's just be real.
Yeah.
He did. He really did, man. I don't know whose, but this is why we're here today, and they're still building this whole case upon everything that they did, which is all just a bunch of scumbag garbage trying to extort people. Like, man, this it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that this thing's even still going. So I think Bubba could clear all this up and help shed a little more light on that to go like, wow, there's a lot of stuff going on back then, from 07, 2012, 2016 to today,
There he is. I got to give a shout out, Bubba Army folks. I know you're in here. Iggy, thanks, brother. Thanks for jumping in here. Of course, Blummels, he's been there. He'll be in the live when we go live. We'll be going live tomorrow night at 7.
We will.
So
we will. Yeah.
We have more of an agenda. This is straight up off the cuff. I'm working. I sell insurance for a living, everybody. If you need life insurance or accident, health, things like that, give me a shout. That's what I do for a living. But yeah, Blasi broke this out on me. It was like, shit, we can go live. I mean, why the hell can't we? So that's the beauty of where we're at in today's society.
Little lunch and learn. Little lunch and
learn. That's what we should have called this.
Nothing wrong with a lunch and learn.
A little lunch and learn.
Oh.
I think this may happen from time to time.
Yeah.
I kind of like this. I had no idea if we would have an audience. We have like I don't know, 150, 200 people in here right now across all
Do
the
we really?
platforms. Yeah, we really
That's
do.
great. I didn't know
Yeah,
what
so-
we'd do. We
I
announced it
know. I
like an
just
hour ago,
wanted
30
to give
minutes
you that
ago.
wanted to give you that update.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
so
y'all for
yeah,
showing up here.
yeah.
Yeah.
So no, thank you for pushing and making sure this happened today, Blasi. He was pretty persistent. It's like, no, we're
You
going. I
just
was like,
can't
we're gonna
wait.
go
He's like,
live
man, we can
tomorrow.
do it
I'm
tomorrow
working on
night. Or
stuff. So yeah,
maybe we
man,
can
we'll
save it for Sunday. I was like, no, this is today. This is
We're
this is
gonna
news
do this
today. Now. This
So
has
here
to
we
go
are,
out
and I'm
'cause
fine with it. I'm
it all
fine
just
with
hit
everything.
me. You know, it's like,
I think
come on.
that a little lunch and learns could start to be fun, especially on weeks when Bubba has some drama. I mean, as everybody knows, I've been following along. Number one, I got a quick response. We're live right now. Tigs Bits. I don't find it to be that hard of a name to pronounce. It's Tigs. That's me. Bits. It's Bits. It's 8 letters. That's all it is. It's Tigs Bits. I think an easier way for people to remember this, if we're having trouble with it, and I understand that some people can and some will, just think big tits. Just get that. Just get it all.
And
Get
just
that
flip it and reverse
dyslexia
it.
going on in your head. This T right here. Swap it. There's a B and a T, because that's how people read the shirts. They read it as big tits. So,
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's great.
fun.
Yeah, it is fun. It
We
is
ain't
fun.
changing the name. So, there
No,
you go.
Not unless
It's
you'd like
the-
to sponsor the show. You could be our platinum sponsor.
Name it anything you'd like.
$150,000 a year. We'll be glad to change it to big balls.
Bumbles ask if we're on Rumble. We do post the shows afterwards on Rumble. Possibly we'll start going live over there as well. And open to hearing if you think that's a good idea. If we should be going live over on Rumble as well, then we'll certainly be doing that. As this thing it's growing, and we want to grow with you guys. What you got in your hands, Blasi?
It's
What
funny.
is that?
My uncle lives in West Virginia, and he goes to these flea markets, dude, all the time. And he buys the most random things you could ever imagine. Well, this is something I was visiting. We went snow skiing this year. I took the boys up there, and we stopped at his house and spent the night. And he starts giving me this odd stuff. And he bought this. He picked this up from 2020, a Trump little commemorative knife set, dude. I mean, look at these knives, and it's kind of nice, like. Look at this knife set here. It's a Trump 2020.
Oh.
Yeah,
Hell
got like
yeah.
a buck knife and a skinning knife in there. So
That's
I
an
just thought,
American
based
knife.
on what we're talking about today, it might be nice to pull that out. Because if you gave it to me, it was like, listen, what I want you to do is get on the show when you get back and show them this. And I was like, well, we don't jump off into a lot of political stuff. But,
No, this is the first time we've
I
ever
said, I'll
even
find a way
scratched
to
that
wedge it in there
surface.
where it makes sense, And here it is.
Yeah.
And today's
Awesome.
the day. Yeah.
Paul says that's a perfect way to remember the name of the show. I do agree. Iggy says, live from the Iggy's Credit Card Studios, it's Tigs Bits. I love it. I love it.
Oh.
We do accept credit cards. I don't know how we will accept it yet, but we will find a way. So bring it on.
We will. We may just get Bubba's login to the PayPal and just start you know what I mean? We could just start getting the money from there somehow, since everybody else has access to it. So I figured maybe we could pipe into it.
Russell Phelps says, rain out today and just checking stuff out, brother. Always around. Just usually a day behind. Hard to listen live. Yeah, I know it is. But this the good thing of all this stuff, archived.
It's there.
So
It's there. You can go back and watch
It'll be
it,
there when
listen
we're
to it.
done. You
Yep,
can go back.
that's
People will
right.
be watching it tonight and stuff. And we'll wrap this up here in a few minutes, and we'll post this out on the socials where it's not at, and kind of break it down for everybody. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
Unbelievable amount of folks in Iggy says Blitz has those passwords. That's great. The PayPal. Yeah, Blummel's PayPal. Yeah, we can accept PayPal. Hell yeah. Let's just in fact, Blitz is now coming on the show. No, I'm playing. Hell no. That
Lunch
won't
and
happen
learn
on this
how
show.
to use PayPal correctly.
Yeah, I mean, that could be a lunch and learn. Maybe we
It
should
could be.
invite
how to
Blitz
use
to
other
that.
people's PayPal to benefit yourself.
Marketing 101. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Oh man.
Unbelievable.
No, I appreciate y'all coming on here today, though. Man, I
Yeah.
can't believe this many people showed up for this, but like,
Yeah.
I just,
insane.
dude, it's there, man. You've got so many connections back to Bubba the Love Sponge. It's crazy how many things get connected back to him. It's really insane how many things get connected back to him. And so here it is. It's laid out. there it is. You know,
That's
everybody should look at it. Hope, you know, Bubba thinks about it. Like, you know, and you know what's even crazier? Why is it like, all right, so Bubba talked about this earlier today. I will say this. Zero Media has reached out to Bubba the Love Sponge after she makes this comments yesterday. That's
Isn't that
mind blowing,
wild?
dude. It's like the whole thing. It's this big, you know, whole work. You know what I mean? It's this whole deal. Like it's all like fabricated. Like it's everybody's involved in it somehow. I don't know, man. It's weird. Like so
Very
she
weird.
mentions that you know that she talked about this in '07 prior to 2016 one time, and she mentions that, and nobody reaches out to him because they all knew who it was. And it's why aren't people curious? Why don't they want to dig more into this and understand the amount of extortion that is behind this? That's my point. Like Bubba shouldn't be
Right.
scared. It's all built on extortion and lies. So it's nothing that he's going to do that would help hurt Donald Trump. The only thing that's going to help is help him, I believe. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because it's garbage, dude. The whole thing is a sham. It's a full
Yeah.
sham, man. But whatever. All right, I've already said it. So
Brandon says, "Do y'all like DMS songs about
Love 'em.
Blitz?" I haven't.
Love 'em.
I haven't heard them. But I will be diving in. I love
oh yes,
well,
I've heard it.
just
Yeah,
got-
you've
we
heard,
love
like, the 12
song.
Days
We
of
love
Christmas he did. It was
parody
like
songs. Yeah,
one
I
of the
mean, you've
first
shared.
stickers.
Yeah, you've
Blitz, you know.
shared stuff with me and stuff like that. That he does. We've got our own resident guy named Johnny Ergonomics. Johnny Ergonomics will be making a debut on next week's show that will air next Friday. So
Oh,
if you like little songs and stuff like that, we've got one already made for us from Johnny Ergonomics.
yeah,
What a name.
He can lay it out. Johnny Ergonomics is the man.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I'll
man.
lay a little bit more out with Johnny Ergonomics.
Yeah, I've been
next
pushing
week,
for
but,
that one. He shared
yeah,
that with
he
me about
has.
a month
Another-
ago, and I'm like, dude, we got to get Johnny Ergonomics. To
That's
front
the
and center
beauty of
here.
this stuff is I will spit stuff that I'm like, this never needs to air. We never need to put this on. Like, this is stupid, whatever. But, I mean, it's hilarious to me. Here you go, Chad. Check this out. And then he'll get it, and he's like, why isn't this on the show? Like, why the
Yes.
hell have you not put this on the show? Like, well, I just hadn't found a place for it. Thanks to everything that's happening, as much shows as we're doing and doing this and that and all that, there's so much stuff. It's time to sprinkle it out. Shit, we got an audience now. We've got people that are watching. I think
Yes.
y'all will enjoy some of this stuff too. It's stupid, but whatever. I mean, it's just we're all just hanging out.
It's
and
great,
being
man. I mean, that's a
entertained.
smooth. That's the first thing he dropped on us was
Pretty
so
dry.
good, I
It's pretty
thought.
good.
I mean,
It
yeah,
is pretty good.
yeah.
It'll blow your speakers out.
I can't wait. What's all right? So my screen's small right there.
Yeah,
What's-
Blitz's
what's the-
Engineering
give me like-
Corner,
give me like
Wednesdays
a-
at 2 p.m. Eastern. That's hilarious. That's
Oh,
hilarious.
so good.
Blummel says, thanks for hopping on and hanging out with us, plebes. What does that mean? I am a Bubba Army virgin. What does that mean?
Who are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you. What does plebes mean?
Oh, I
I don't know if it's some inside. It could be inside
no.
baseball, bro.
It could be like
There's
I said,
so
some
many
stuff-
things, so
I've
many
told
layers.
You on a level of 1 to 10, I'm like a 6.5. I don't claim to be a pro, and I know that, and I've heard that. I just don't know what it is. Like I have to admit that. Thank you for putting me on the
perfect.
spot. I appreciate
Blummels,
you.
if tell us what that means.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I've
okay.
admitted fully I'm a 6 out of half. I'm a 6.5 out of 10 when it comes to everything and all the inner iggies as we call them and all that stuff. But like some of the stuff, I still don't.
Another thing I need
didn't
to
get the full
address in the
explanation on
Clem and Cush podcast yesterday. Seth, of all people, was like, I'm not sure if Tigs is Bubba Army or not. What in the fuck? What do you mean I'm not Bubba Army? The shit, I wouldn't be doing this show if I wasn't Bubba Army. That was crazy. So get that shit straight, Seth. I'm Bubba Army all the way. I'm learning. I'm just learning.
He
Plebes
is.
just means commoners. I think
That's
that's
right.
fair. I think
right.
that's fair.
Yeah.
I believe
Yeah.
that is more than fair. Yeah.
you.
It's not inside. Okay. All right. Perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah,
I'm-
see, I know. That's just something I
Y'all
didn't
are
know
the
either.
inside
Yeah.
folks. Not
Yeah, there's
not
things that I
this
miss
cat.
though, like where I think I know things and I think I know most everything, and then suddenly I learned something I didn't know. Like, so I thought that may be something too. I don't use that, but yeah, now I know.
Now we know it will be
'Cause
used.
Tigs called me out
That will
on-
be. See, we're learning too. We want
On
to
a
learn.
worldwide platform. you
We
know.
want to learn. I've gone down so many rabbit holes since last June when all of this started of just trying to learn more because and Bubba described this last week on the show of how it's such a large network, you got to give this 2 weeks. You got to just jump in, pick one, jump in, and like, do you just like what these cats are talking about? They're just talking about stuff, and then it begins. Then you start to dive down into it and just start to peel all those things back. I haven't even gotten close.
So many directions to go. You know what I mean? So many directions, so much going on there, so many levels, so many levels. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Alan asked questions. They know that I sell insurance, which is, I'm glad y'all know. Don't forget to call me if you need me. But what do you do, Blasi?
Yeah, so I'm in the medical device field. Yep. So I'm stents, balloons, all that good jazz. You know what I mean? So if you're trying to open up some arteries, you know, just give us a call. Just give us a call.
That's
at 1-800-Blasi opens up arteries.
He'll get you fixed right up.
Absolutely. I'll point you in the right direction.
Fun fact, we were talking about this stuff just before we went live. Had an in-depth conversation about arteries and your cardiovascular system.
We did.
Endless troves of just like rambling. We can do it forever. We can do it forever. Blummel says there's a lot of jargon to remember. There ain't no doubt about that. I've caught on to that, but I'm learning.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Blasi surfs in Costa Rica. It's because of your beautiful tan, brother.
That's right.
He surfs on that
waves.
Emerald Coast is where he surfs. So he is always tan.
I tried to surf one time. Let's be honest. So I was, so a good friend of mine's son at the time, this is 10, 12 years ago. He was like 14. I was like, man, can you show me how to surf? You know, and he's like, yeah, come on. So we went actually behind Bud and Alley's down in Seaside. We were down there. I walked down to the beach with him. We go out. We're talking about it, you know, riding waves. Everybody's boogie boarded and all that jazz. So I'm actually going to learn to surf that day. Dude, we get out there, and we're waiting on the waves. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, this storm comes up. I mean, rapid, this storm comes in. Dude, lightning is hitting the water near us. You know what I mean? Like, I'm seeing lightning over the water.
Oh, my Lord. And we've talked about this on previous shows.
Dude, I've never
Lightning's
paddled so
coming
hard.
for both of us.
Never paddled so hard in my life. Because I'm terrified of lightning. Dude, it's like I ran and found a wave. You know what I mean? It's like, come here, wave. I'm getting on you. Jumped up on that. I jumped up on that thing, dude, and rode her all the way to the bank. There was 0% chance I was falling off that board. That's the one and last time I've ever surfed. Done with that. Ran off the board, ran up into Bud and Alley's. Whew. I was terrified. Like, y'all can have that, dude. I'm going to stay up here on the shore. That's why I like to fish off the beach now. You know what I mean? I can
just, yeah. Dude, I tell you what, lightning. If y'all can go back and check out our catalog. We have a large catalog ourselves on our YouTube channel, everywhere else, but it's just easier to access the whole catalog on YouTube. And we're trying to grow that thing. We're almost, everybody listen, if you don't mind, like, subscribe to our channel. If you're enjoying this, do all that stuff.
We're trying to get to 1,000.
Trying to get to 1,000. You know,
that's like our first goal. We can actually start monetizing. You know what I mean? We can become like some sort of an affiliate. Is that right? Like a partner, some sort of a deal with
an affiliate partner with
just
YouTube. We have to have enough watch hours. We're close on that already. So I mean, it would mean a lot to us. The one way that you can help us to continue to grow and to continue to go is to subscribe to our channel and help us. I mean, that really and truly, and I've heard that on YouTube videos that I've always watched and all that, and I'm like, blah, blah, blah. This is just stuff you say. No, it really, really works. Those likes go a long way in getting people recommended in front of somebody else, and it just grows. It's just a network. So look, I don't want to harp on that, but appreciate all of y'all that have already done that. If you're watching this, please do it now. If you're not, if you haven't, and we love it. We're just going to keep growing. But That's it. I think we're going to probably kind of chime it down. We're going to be going live once again tomorrow night. If there's anything, we'll give y'all a couple more minutes here. If anything y'all want to add in the chat or any questions or anything that you have, but we'll be jumping back live on here.
I'll be at Props tomorrow night. I think I'm going to go up there.
Okay, you're going to do it from Props?
I think so. You know what I mean?
I need you to drink one of those double hazy IPAs, or at least have one poured. Somebody else can drink it. I just want to see it. I want to look at it. I want to look at it.
I'll have one because I like to have like two while I do the whole deal. I don't want to, just have a couple.
Well,
just
you only need one of those.
I can have one, and I think that's what I'm saying. I'll just do one of those instead because I don't want to get two. Those things are serious.
Yeah. They are. Iggy says that he'll do what he can for us. Appreciate you, Iggy. He
Oh,
said he's
heck
also
yeah.
been. Iggy also says that he's here to kind of help us to fill in the gaps. Just shout it out. He'll be happy to help. See, and I think that's already awesome that we have this kind of a
30
community, and
years.
they're not
That's
dicking
right.
us or anything. They're wanting to help. Hey, look, not ashamed to
Legend.
admit what I don't know. You know, I think that's the first step as a human being. If you can just admit what you don't know, and y'all can help. I'm willing to learn. So I love that. Thanks so much for that. He's going to help us out, try to add a few for us. So that's fantastic. And then Iggy says, where are we located? He doesn't know our backstory. So real quick with that, I live in Baton Rouge. I live in Louisiana, not Mississippi. I live in Louisiana, Baton Rouge. I'm an
Yep.
LSU fan, but we don't throw all that everywhere. You can see the flag behind me, huge LSU guy. But our other co-host that's not with us today, JR the Handler, he is the tour manager for country artist Justin Moore, which is awesome. So he has a lot of
He's worked with all kind of country artists, you know,
the
John
Rolodex,
Party,
folks.
all these
Let's
people,
be
yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. JR is our Rolodex. We're building our own stuff with it too, but JR has that contact list, which is fantastic. He lives in Orange Beach or Gulf
Yes.
Shores,
Yes.
Alabama, and then Blasi.
Yeah, I'm
You're
over
here.
here. Yeah, I'm over here. Actually, you know, they say Fort Walton Beach, but I'm probably 45 minutes, 50 minutes back to the east, and I'm in Freeport, Florida, which is just you got Santa Rosa Beach, which is down between Destin and Panama City Beach. I'm just on the north side of the bay, so the bay is right here on the north side of the bay. Just cross the bridge. You know, there's Grayton Beach, you know, Blue Mountain Beach, and all that stuff, Seaside, and all
Yeah.
that jazz. I don't get down on that side of the 30A on not the Rosemary and Alice Beach and all those other places.
Yeah,
where they
the
sit
elite
on
places.
lines, sit there with their legs crossed. Now I'm over the Grayton Beach back to the west side, Blue Mountain Beach, Grayton Beach. It's just a little more chill and cool
Yeah.
and up here in Freeport. So
I love that Blummel's guess is Tennessee. Good, hey, good guess. We're live. Doesn't matter. I'll tell this real quick. I will go in depth on this at another point in time. Now and all isn't the place, but I was adopted and I've found my birth mother, and it all tracks back to Tennessee. So that does. I grew up in North Louisiana, where they really talk a little bit more like this, and that's kind of how I used to talk too, because that's where I was from. And I'm not making fun of anybody. That's just the way. That's the way we talk. And if I have a drink or two, I fall right back into that. So, but I get that a lot. I've gotten that Tennessee accent a lot, which I mean, hey, I've got a Southern
kind of
drawl.
crazy.
Can't
It's in
help
your
it.
blood. It's in your
I can't
blood
help
there. Yeah. Well, it's just like myself. I grew up in Alabama. Like this ain't Florida accent, right? So yeah, I grew up
Right.
in Alabama, South Alabama. I mean, the whole area that Hank Williams Jr. sings about, like outside
That's
of Troy, came from
Yeah.
South Alabama. That's what he's talking. It ain't South.
Yeah.
It ain't. I mean, Mobile's great. I'm a spokesman for Mobile.
He
but
is
I'm talking
he's an official
spokesman. Yes, I am.
An unofficial spokesman.
But I'm on the other side of the
City
state
of
over there,
Mobile.
what they call the wiregrass. You got Elba, Op, Dothan, you know, Geneva, Ino, you know,
Yeah.
all that good stuff. Babby.
Iggy said he was stationed. Thank you for your service, Iggy. I'm assuming you were definitely in the military.
Oh,
That
go-
you was
go-
stationed in
Gulfport,
Gulfport.
Mississippi, yeah.
Spent a lot of time rolling around in Louisiana. I love Louisiana. It's so much fun. There's a lot of things that we've been doing with interviews, food, stuff like that. We like to do all of that stuff too, behind the scenes, food, you know, critiquing food, things
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. I mean, what better place than the state of Louisiana for that? You know, it's very serious here. Food is life. Food is very serious. We got into that conversation with Brittany Camille about how, I mean, the worst people in the state of Louisiana, if you're some person who does food and this other person that does food, they just go after each other. It's like the Drake Kendrick deal, but with chefs in Louisiana. They just want to bitch slap each other and stuff over food. It's amazing. So we're gonna dive into we're gonna dive into all that kind of stuff too, man. We really are. Let's see. Paul says he can't tell the difference. Southern accents generally, I know they're different, but it's hard to tell. I've got one, brother. I mean, I know that. I listen to myself back in this stuff, and I know I've got one. Iggy says he couldn't get out of Mississippi fast enough. That's why I didn't want to be labeled as a Mississippian. No offense to any of my friends from Mississippi. I understand. It just totally makes sense.
Yeah, it's funny. My accent's gotten so much lighter. Like, people think I've got a Southern accent. I mean, when I go back home, they look at me like, why you sound like that, boy? You sound like you've been up north for a little while, What's
I
going
can.
on? But what's funny,
Where you been?
I mean, you get down there and you start hanging out with them. Next thing you know, you talking the same way. We're talking just like this, just
Exactly.
as country
That's
as
what
you
I'm
can
talking
imagine,
about.
brother. I gotta talk to you. I gotta tell you something. I mean, it's just the way it is. You know what I mean? It's
That's it.
crazy. That is not exaggerating. That's what I used to sound like. So and it's great. I still love it.
Oh yeah, Thunder
what it is.
Chicken, which I love the name. Those Cajun women down in Biloxi though, love that part of Mississippi. Hell yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Blummel says my boss is from NOLA and he makes the best food in New York City. Awesome, dude. Awesome. We
bet
got
so.
New York City in the house. I didn't
Yes,
realize
we
you were from
do.
New York City. That's awesome, man. Good. Where at? Where at Blummels? I want to know. Or is he just cook at home, or does he have a restaurant or something?
Oh, that's a good point.
Where you been, boy? That's right. That's right. It totally, man, it totally comes out in me too. Whenever I go back home, I go fishing or anything like that. That accent, man, I just can't. I have a drink or two.
Oh,
Here
yeah.
it comes. Here
Oh,
it
yeah.
comes. So,
The alcohol.
another spoiler alert: boiling
worse.
crawfish this Friday, and we'll be making some content from that. Don't make fun of my voice. Y'all can make fun of my voice. I don't really care. Blasi, the one-man posse, is the man on this show with that silky smooth voice. So we're good. But Blasi, I mean, you got anything else to
Man, that's it. I
to
appreciate
add?
y'all coming on here
Yep.
and letting me vent. I feel so much better. I feel like I had to get out there. I'd have just been
So
eat up
glad.
the next couple of days if I hadn't been able to get that off my chest. It just felt like something needed to be told. I mean, look at this. Like I threw this together in about, probably 10 minutes. I wrote all this down. It's just,
Yeah,
it's just
he
my
did.
crazy
He did. He
board.
said, "Give me 30 minutes. I'm going to go into my Matrix mode or whatever. Beautiful mind, whatever." He got creative and laid it out for us. Comfortland, okay. Comfortland in Astoria, Queens. Nice.
that's cool.
Okay,
That's
all
awesome.
right. Shout
That's
out
awesome.
to Comfortland if they're from NOLA. No doubt, it's good. Russell says thanks. Iggy says thanks.
Thank you all, man. Appreciate y'all.
We
coming on here.
appreciate all of you and hope you
Never
all
expected this kind
come
of
in
turnout.
and join
Yeah,
us
it's
again
great.
tomorrow night. And
Yeah, we're gonna have fun tomorrow night. We're
yeah.
gonna have some fun in there and
whole new
we're
agenda.
Yes,
With
yeah.
an actual agenda.
But
So-
we'll probably talk about this again a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
We'll probably
Oh,
break
yeah.
this down some more.
Yeah, so you guys in this chat, y'all be thinking. You've got questions, you've got things you want to add in. That's
Bring
what
it.
that's what these live shows are going to be. They're going to be for us to all just interact together. So, man, it's been fun. We'll see
Yes,
y'all
sir.
tomorrow.
See y'all.